Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is my November 2021 dividend income update for you. So don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So yes, I'm doing my almost final dividend income report for 2021. Does anybody else find that so strange that we're nearly at the end of the year? That being said, this is a really small month. Apart from March, this is the lowest amount I've been paid out in a month this year, which is frustrating, I suppose, at this stage, but it's something obviously that I want to work on changing for the future. Now, bear in mind, everything that I share on here is not personal finance advice. It's not a recommendation. This is just what I'm doing to hopefully inspire you on your own dividend income journey. That being said, let's have a look at the figures. So there again, like October, there are two companies that paid out during November, and one of them is really new, isn't it? I've never had a dividend payment from them before, and the other one is a new one this year. So the two of them together are new ones for November in my portfolio. So the first one, and I've never had a payment from these before. In fact, I don't even think I've had them for that long in my portfolio. I think I might have bought it back in September. So the first one that paid out is BAE Systems. And these are, like I said, a really new holding in my portfolio. One that I want to build on, actually. I've been reading kind of their company finance numbers and things like that. And I want to build on this as a holding. But they paid out £26.73, which I suppose is not a bad start. It's not a great number, but it's not bad. Again, considering, and I think November last year I got nothing in terms of dividend income, so obviously it's better than that. And then the second one, again, so this one's a new one in my portfolio this year. They paid out a really good dividend back in February, and that was the first time I got paid by this company. And that company is Tesco. Now, if you're in the UK, Tesco is a really big supermarket chain. It has loads of stores, lots of and there's petrol stations, everything with it. So in theory, it should be a really kind of stable position to have in my portfolio. If you're not new here, you'll know that I had Morrison's as my kind of supermarket investment in my dividend portfolio for a long time. And then I sold it, and the reason why I sold it was that they'd gone up so much in share price. The gains were kind of too good to miss, I suppose, in terms of, I looked at it as how long would it take me to get that dividend income back, as opposed to kind of not selling and keeping it. And in the end, I made the decision to sell it and invest the money elsewhere. And then Tesco kind of was maybe an obvious addition to that. But you'll see in a second that actually their dividend payments are really small. The rest of the time, the special dividend was like a one-off. So they paid out in November a very grand total of £3.26, which is nothing, is it? So and they're the two that paid out during November. So you can see that the numbers are really, really small for November. So the total there, I've not even hit the £30 mark, is £29.99. So if I looked at that from kind of a growth perspective, considering that I got nothing in November for November 2020, I suppose in terms of year-on-year growth, that's good. Obviously, our long-term aim is for £1,000 a month in dividends, and I'll leave a link below to that video if you've not seen that. But clearly I'm so far from that number. It's almost ridiculous at this stage. But December tends to be my biggest payment month, and I'm hoping that this year will be no different, but we'll see. The next thing I'm going to show you is a visual representation of that November dividend income with the rest of the year so far, and you can see just how much it's dipped from kind of September's been the best month so far. October was pretty good as well, and then we've got November, which, let's be honest, could be better at this stage. So yeah, I'll show you the graph that I've got for that. So here is the graph that I've got that shows the kind of the overall year as a trend. Now, I am someone who likes visual representations of things. I have a budget planner with lots of visual things to help me budget, all that kind of stuff, and this is no different. So this is my dividend income for the year so far. As you can see, I've had a month there, so that's March, where I didn't get anything at all. But I guess the overall trend is upwards. It's not as upwards as I'd like, I'm not going to lie, at this stage. What we are, and you have to remember, I'm 6 years into this process, so if you're sat there with your dividend income journey, but you're in year one, your numbers will look really different to mine. So don't, I'm doing this for inspiration to help you or hopefully inspire you to start your own. But remember, we're at very different points in our own journeys. And you might be able to invest a lot more money than I do, or, a lot less. It just depends. But whatever you're doing is a good job. So, this is just to show you. But you can see here, so this is November, so it's really small in comparison. Ideally, I'd be kind of hitting this line for every month. But we'll see how it goes. Wouldn't it be amazing if it was all kind of this number? I guess. We'll see what the next year brings. But the final thing I'm going to show you is another part of this spreadsheet where it shows dividend earned and invested cash, so you can see what it's looking like so far and my yearly total to date. So this is the final thing to show you. So like I said, it's a different part of the spreadsheet. And this shows, again, it's just a bit of an overview of the dividends earned during a month and the amount of money I put into my investment ISA. So I have my investment ISA with Hargreaves Lansdowne, and I'll leave a link below to those. I would recommend them as a service, as someone who's used them for a long time. I don't take my dividends out, so my dividends are earned and then reinvested. I choose where to reinvest them. I don't do it automatically. I like to do it where I want them to go rather than just reinvested into the same thing. Mainly because I like to do it so that I'm investing in things that will pay out sooner rather than paying out in a year's time or whatever. You can see here, so I've got dividends earned during the month and invested cash, and so together those two numbers combined are what has gone into my ISA during that month. So if I scroll down, so September was the best month. As you can see, dividends earned was really good, and also I managed to put in quite a lot of money as well. November, $29.99 in dividends, and I've invested £600, kind of a standard figure, I suppose, into my ISA for that month. Yes, do I wish it was more at this stage? Yes. I always say that though, but real life gets in the way and things are expensive, and December even more so, and I just think that, sometimes you've got to do what's best for you, haven't you? So if I scroll down, the total so far is £1,092.90 of dividend earned, which is amazing. Yes, I could dwell on the fact that I would like that to be more, but I'm focused on the fact that it's over £1,000, and I am on track to have the biggest year yet for dividend income, providing that December isn't a total fluke and doesn't do what I want it to do. Invested cash, I've put £6,700 in my investment ISA this year so far. Again, if I look at that as a percentage of like our household income, it's fairly high. And then if I combine that with investments, my experimental portfolio investments, and then my mortgage overpayments, our fire plans take up quite a big percentage of our household income because it isn't very big. So, and if I scroll down again, obviously these are divided by, so this is divided by 12, but obviously December isn't there yet, and that's divided by 12. Again, divided by 52, divided by 365. So when December figures are in, all of this will be an accurate representation. But even now, without December, the daily average is, I'm making £3 every single day from dividend income. Now, I know, what would that get you? Like a meal deal? Yeah, maybe. But £3 every single day will then turn into £5 every single day, then £10 every single day. And eventually, the knock-on effect of that will mean that it will become eventually a good substantial amount of money that we are making in terms of dividends. And that's why I do this. So that is my November 2021 dividend update for you. Have you received any dividends in November? Let me know down below what dividends you've received. I love hearing about people's dividend income journeys. So please let me know down below what you've been getting up to in terms of dividends this month. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.